take into consideration all the inspiration that has been allowed to flow through me. What else could I be but blissed out for days and days and days? And as I gaze over this wide universe, and I understand
Yo, yo.
Yo, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Baseball Hippie Show. I'm your host, the Baseball Hippie. This is my co-host extraordinaire engineer, Brown Bear.
Yo, yo, yo. What's good?
Man, not much.
R.I.P. Mariners.
The Mariners season is officially over. 2 weeks into the season, so
Nah, it's not that grim.
we love you, Mariners. We love all the Mariners out there, all the listeners, all the Angels,
No,
All
no love
what?
for the Angels.
all the Comets and the Astros. There's a comet shower tonight. Did you know that, Brown Bear?
Comet shower?
There is.
Perseid? Is it the Perseid meteors? Is that what's up?
Yeah. Some meteor shower tonight, my friend. According to the World Wide Web.
That's what's up.
Did you know how that is? Could be a meteor shower. If you believe in meteor showers.
I believe in meteor shower. Do you believe in meteor showers? How could you not believe in meteor shower? It's like very readily available evidence.
There's not a lot of evidence telling you that if you shower every day, you're somehow more hygienic or cleaner than the next person. I think showering every 3 to 5 days is perfectly. Oh yes, meteor showers. That's a different thing, isn't it? I know. I don't know. I don't know. It could be a projection by the government. I don't know.
I guess so, yeah.
It's either the aliens or government. Those are the two of the biggest conspirators. Or corporate interests. Or cults. These are the 5 families that sit and discuss the world's events. Should we have a meteor shower this year? Yeah, let's project one into the sky, into our flat Earth disk. Damn, YouTube's got me. I'm done.
Damn, dude.
Hey, man, but speaking of YouTube, real quick, since we are a YouTube show about baseball, psychedelia, denuclearization, friendship, all other sorts of things. Supposedly, if you say the C word, the pandemic word, they take you off, they buffer you until they figure out where you're staying. I heard that on another YouTuber friend of mine's channel because they had a funny little bit. Shout out to not most people; they're way more popular than us. But
so you say
they were just so remember that show we got taken down a bunch with Willie, man? I think it's because we said the actual word, and I remember saying it like, "Oh, I never said it like this. Usually, I just say pandemic."
The Bamona virus.
Don't do it. Well, do it, man. We get taken off for all sorts of weird stuff. Nickelodeon's Doug really put us to they pinned us to the ground. We had to edit. Dude. It's the first time we've ever, and only really, we've had to edit the Baseball Hippie Show thanks to Nickelodeon Doug. Tied her hands behind her back.
Trash can.
we respect the art. It's like, man, we're not disrespecting anybody who worked on that
Yeah, I'm
product.
sorry. We really taking a lot of plays away from banging on a trash can.
Thank you. If
Fucking
anything, we're
eat my ass,
bringing
Doug.
people back to the series. Don't you know we're influencing people, man?
God.
That's why we got into this, Brown Bear. We wanted to be influencers.
Yeah, dude. We just want people to
Yeah,
watch the same cartoons as us.
we do. Well, luckily we didn't pick a show about cartoons because we would be out of business real quick. Because it seems like when you play baseball highlights, they don't seem cheap, man. Well, we are into the third week of the baseball season, and we're in about the 15th week of straight human hell here on Earth. Just kidding. That's so. But like, this year will serve, as we started our podcast this year, it's going to serve as a timepiece that you dig a hole in your backyard and put all your memories of that year in it, and then you go back and look at it 5 years from now and you're like, holy crap, I didn't hear.
I was
'Cause
talking.
it's going,
I was
yeah.
talking with a friend earlier about. So he had gotten. He was smoking weed from 2019, and we're talking about that as like some sort of like time capsule. And then he's talking about he found like old mushrooms that he had. He wasn't like vibing on it. He's like, I don't know how long they keep for, all this and that. He's like, I need to get some 2020 mushrooms. But then the general consensus is you probably don't want to fuck with mushrooms grown in 2020. Probably got some bad vibes.
Yeah. Well,
It was just
yes
funny.
and no.
Whether it's true or not. But it
Yes
was just
and no,
funny.
because we want to get to the nitty gritty of it. Mushrooms have been proven to break down garbage, and like they I don't know the complete science of it, but they're like a detoxin. They like toxic things.
Totally. I remember learning about. I took a class on like lead certifying buildings and stuff like that. And
oh, cool! Very cool.
Man, I wish I remember what it was called. It had a funny college name, but it was about like the future of architecture and stuff, and how to like sustainable architecture or something like that. And one of the interesting things we learned about was using mushrooms as like filters in parking lots and stuff, and like to filter the oil that drains from the cars.
Whoa!
But yeah, I think that's kind of like the next step of what you were talking about in terms of like breaking down toxins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like I think the idea is like preventing the oil from getting into the groundwater, and having like, I think it was like patches or like bags of mushrooms at the drainage points in the parking lot, and they were filtering the oil out from the water.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
That's my like 12-year ago memory of this like article we read in one class in college, but I could be completely wrong, but that's how I remembered it.
The good thing about the baseball hippie is if we ever like got enough power or money to like build a building, it would definitely be LEED certified. We're the fucking baseball hippie show, so that's the cool thing, man. Hippies are all like, I feel like that's some that's some psychedelia right there. Psychedelia, I think, helps us think differently about the same thing that's pretty monotonous, like a storm drain in a parking lot. A lot of people don't spend more than 15 seconds on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that. You know, and just think, there's everything from how we, I don't know. Sometimes my mind wonders, maybe we just did it all wrong. Maybe everything we invented could have been done better.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
Sales, like who's right? The salesperson or the engineer, or somewhere in the middle?
The robot umpire. That's who's right.
Well, you can get on a big plane. The robot umpire. I'm telling you this right now. We had a friend, DT. Shout out DT in the group. He said, "I can't wait for robot umpires." That just struck me as really funny because I'm sitting here today telling you, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's like what they're gonna find is that like a curveball, the way this vector sphere or whatever you call a 3-dimensional, it's like all calculus, man. It's like the ball passes the plane on balls so many times that so a strike you can call most anything if it just touches the white of the plate from above. It's a strike unless I don't know. Greater minds have probably thought about this, but my opinion is you're gonna find a lot of difference. You're not gonna find a lot of difference. The players are gonna be just as upset. What do you think, Brummer?
I love the word vector sphere.
Do you think a robot can make a bad call?
I get what you're saying. Where like it.
Do electric sheep dream?
For one, I think a lot of our perspective, if we're watching on TV, obviously is from like one angle from behind, like a corner behind the pitcher, and like generally like differing, but like the angles differing based on who's broadcasting it or where the camera is that day. If it's like a national broadcast or local broadcast, I feel like sometimes the angle's like slightly different. So it's hard for us to say from that angle what's a strike or not based from what the umpire is seeing. But I think you're trying to say that, the same thing's going to happen where to us it looks like a curveball, either broke too late or broke too early or whatever, but it did technically cross through the strike zone and then it's a strike. And we're like, that's not a strike.
Yes. The pole boy, again, this is me and my sciencing out right now, but I'm not trying to, you're not an idiot. You're a very knowledgeable baseball watcher. But I'm going to break it down simply how I see is the point of a pitcher is to make it in the strike zone and then out of the strike zone, or out of the strike zone and in the strike zone. So they're working the corners all day. Everybody in baseball knows that. So the way the ball spins in, because of the seams and stuff, like it's called.
It's not about just crossing. It's not 100%
about. Would call more strikes, and people will be like, "What? That is not a strike."
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it's 100% about the ball just crossing through the strike zone. Necessarily.
Well, in terms of the robot calling it or the ump.
I don't know. What are you trying to say? I guess
I'm trying to say is I think there's going to be so many disputed calls around the corners that you're going to realize whether it's an ump or a robot, it doesn't matter, man. The strike zone is just this weird thing. The difference between each human strike zone is their shoulders and their knee, or their letters and their knees, right? That's what it's supposed to be. And letters is crazy because what is letters is everywhere on the jersey. So they already give the top like such a zone, and then so now the robot, the computer has one, so they have to like do the math where they put you in a video and then they find your letters and knees already. Computers can mess that up. I know that. Second thing, the way the ball spins is huge, because if it spins all the way in on you and catches the back corner and it goes over the back, you know how the plate's like that, right?
Mm-hmm,
and then like that, and it catches, like it goes all the way around and then catches is that a strike? No way.
No, but I don't think the ump. I mean, I guess that's what I was trying to argue before. Is that does that mean that? I don't think that the computer ump would call that a strike, or hopefully they wouldn't program it to. That's I guess what I was trying to argue is that
Yeah, yes, you're right.
I don't think it's not about anything that just crosses through the strike zone. It's like more factors than that. It's like a, I don't know how many, like, you know, it's how deep
And
it,
there's
where
computer
it's where
learning.
it's where it
So,
ends.
yeah.
Height wise, up and
They can,
down, left
yeah.
and right. It's where it ends depth wise on the plate. Like, it can't just
Yeah.
cross through the strike zone and like land in the dirt in front of the catcher and be like a strike unless it actually, you know, kind of came, you know.
Yeah, like spent enough time over the plate that would warrant you to call it a strike. If it hits the plane as a strike and then drops and hits the plate, like hits the actual
Yeah.
plate, it's not a strike in our game. But a computer might just see it. Oh, it's in the plane. It came in as a strike.
I don't think
It's
that's
like,
how it's gonna roll. I don't think
okay.
they're gonna be that willy nilly with it if they did it.
Also,
I think the
computer
point-
learning. You're right, because like computer learning, that if it does make a bad call, they can feed it. Hey, that was a bad call for this reason, and it'll say, oh, okay, next time it can learn. But man,
Totally.
I'm just
But I
telling
think
you
the
right
point of
now,
it is
I want to see a robocall game. I want to see it. I
I
want
feel
to
like
know.
they started testing it out in some minor league games before all minor league got shut down. Is what I.
We should just sit and watch one because I'm interested in what the strike zone's like, because I never watch a game where I don't think about what the ump's calling, and it's
And it's
art.
not just
It's a
like, well, the thing is,
paintbrush.
it's not like, I don't think it's like there is still live umps on the field. It's just like that. It's not leaving that part up to chance. I guess it's like it's making the goal is that maybe even if there are weird ass calls, it's gonna be a weird ass call every time for every team the same way. Like, I think that's the idea. But I mean, hopefully if they go that way, the robo would make a good call. But I think the concern with human umps, which I think is part of the charm of the game and part of something I like about the game, is that it's like invariables and intangibles that happen because based off of like when this dude blinked or like what piece of dust got in his eye or the way he's seen the ball that day.
Can sell strikes too by like
Totally,
backing off
and,
the
like,
plate and make him be like, because you only get 2 seconds to call it, and when you call it, they say like no ump in the history of the game calls it and then pulls it back. Wait, that was actually a strike.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just how it is, and it's part of the beauty of the game. But if you're talking
Yeah.
about like you want to make the most even playing field for these like athletes at the top level of their game to compete on,
Yeah.
I think there is validity in the argument for robo umps because I, as
Wow.
a fan, have been frustrated enough in watching shit calls that like influence the outcome of a game or the outcome of an inning. How many times have you seen a shit call that fucking
almost got lost? Yeah.
I mean, how many
Thank you
times?
for the segue. So that's where we're going with this. This has easily got to be one of the worst called seasons just in the first 2 weeks. I didn't know fans had this much power, but there is what I call no accountability. I've been seeing the wildest strike zones with not much consistency. I haven't watched every game, I'll be honest. But just from this one game I watched, where the way he called the outside corner was so random. You know, it just felt like he checked out because it wasn't just his fans. It was like, I think batters aren't supposed to argue, right? Isn't that kind of part of the pandemic style baseball?
I remember reading that they're not supposed to. There's not supposed to be much contact at all. No argument, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, just to be official, you would you could understand a robo official season because some umpires are so bad at calling balls and strikes that it's like frustrating as a fan to watch your favorite team have to go through that inconsistency.
I would want to like really, really observe it before like fully committing to it because I want it like.
Yeah.
I do feel like part of the magic of the game is the like human element of it. You know.
Well, I'm just gonna say this.
They do have, maybe there's a better way to do it though. Maybe like I don't know. We can't have like replay calls on like balls and strikes. That'd be kind of fucked up. But like
maybe the computer like puts it to another computer. I'm just saying, the pitfall could be, and this could be a little flat earthy, but like, what if the computers start calling balls and strikes you don't agree with? Then what? Because then it's
Back
like the
to human
machine
arms.
has.
But I think I think. I mean, at first, I'm sure there would be calls where you're like, that is not a fucking strike, or like, what the hell is that, or, you know. But regardless, if it's that way for every team, people will adjust, and they'll be like, okay, this is like the game, and this is fair. I don't think they'll implement anything like that affects the game on that scale. I think they'll dial it in, and like if they were to do something like that, they'd make it work.
Invest a lot of money into the tech.
I would hope so. I'd think so. But, you know,
Amazon already put tons into StatCast.
it's an Amazon thing.
I think they got
that-
at
that
least they
Exit
sponsor it on TV.
Exit
Sorry, I
Velo
shouldn't have
sponsored
said
by
that. We're not
Amazon.
trying to get them to play. Support your local mom and pops. Everybody knows that.
Amazon.
Baseball. Hey, man. I love your take. I love when we disagree slightly on things that just are so, like, not even like.
I mean, I think right now where the game is at, my
Yeah.
personal take is I still like regular umpires, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to point out the complexity of the strike zone. I think it'll get to us when we realize computers can't even do it better than humans. It's just it's a weird flick of the eye thing. It's like I can't tell you what makes a strike or a ball. It's just in your heart. It's more like justice. It's like we don't know what it is, man. It's a morality thing. It's like that just felt like the strike at the moment. It was the eighth. That's a strike in the eighth. In the first, that could be a ball. You know, it's like runners on. That's a strike. I don't know. That's a hometown fan thing.
I don't know, man. I feel like if we can, I don't know. If technology is where it's at, we can figure out a way to make a 3D strike zone and figure out what's a ball and what's a strike.
I'd be, man. We'll see. I think we'll see in our life, and if it works like first try, and I just sit there, I'm like, that was a perfectly called game. Like that was just immaculate. Like there was a few that like I like, but then when they show the replay, I'm like, dang, he got that computer got it right. I gave him a heat. That computer got it right. There's never been a woman umpire in the MLB, has there? We should look that up.
Yeah, let's not make that big claim yet. I think you're right, but there's been I think there's been women managers and owners, but I don't think any other.
Okay, Bramber, I'm putting you in the batter's box tonight for a segment. This is the Baseball Hippie Show. You want to show that, Loriano? We got baseball back. We're extremely excited. We're also still nervous because it's very nerve-wracking times. We're a show about baseball. We're a show about psychedelia. And we're a show about denuclearization, which means getting all the nukes off planet Earth. And if you listen to Sun Ra, he has an amazing song about the atrocities of nuclear war. Called Nuclear War. So maybe we'll play that at the end of the show. We started off with Laraji. Beautiful. I can only bliss out for days. Remember, I love doing the show with you, man. I was so nervous on our first episode. I'm not gonna lie. I'm officially the butterflies are gone. I just like what we do. I don't care.
Yeah, dude.
Flutter's gone.
It's chill. So yeah, real quick before we move too far on, Pam Postema, first female baseball umpire to ever officiate a Major League Baseball spring training game. So I think it's happened in a spring training game. I can't find anything that says it's actually happened in a regular season game. There are a few articles from like 2017, 2018 about
She spent 13 years in the minor leagues, it says.
there's a couple others though. Powell and Charlesworth Sealer. Sorry, I thought it was a French.
Okay.
Anyway, it's from 2018, and it sounds like they were trying to make it up to the major leagues. So we'll see, but it doesn't sound like quite yet.
Well, you know, it's a hard job, and I'd rather see a woman play professional baseball.
Imagine the stress, dude. What was that umpire who like blew?
We'll talk about that.
Blew the call on someone's no hitter.
Oh man, if you had that video in the archive, that would be an epic one for flowing off videos tonight. He was given, I forgot his name, but he was given a car because it was the Tigers, so he was given like a GMC a couple weeks later. If you look at that video, and he's just bawling his eyes out. And he's just like, I'm sorry. Because what he did was really respectful. He was like, right after the game, I went to the video room. I saw the footage. The man was safe. I ruined somebody's no-hitter. It's not what I got in the game for. I ruined this kid's no-hitter. He's like, it's the worst thing I've ever done in my whole history of being on the job. I was like, man. And then he's like crying, and they give him a car. They're like, it's all good, bud. Here's a car. So weird, man. It's a different time. We got to tell that story.
So they give the pitcher the car.
They gave the umpire the car.
Oh.
I think they gave the umpire a car, man. I'm telling you anything. The pitcher, the organization, the Tigers organization.
I think they gave the pitcher a car.
Okay, that makes way more sense to me because when I saw it like 10 years ago, I was like, why are they giving the ump a car, man? All he did was ruin his no-hitter. That makes sense. But the ump cried, didn't he? They gave the car, and then the ump cried.
Let's check it out. Let's pull it up here. Give me just a second.
It's great. I'm not that crying is great, but it's great to see a grown man who cares that much about the sport we do a podcast about. Crying his eyes out because he doesn't want to ruin a no-no. He knows how special, how hard and unique it is, and how it's really one of the greatest feats in sport. It's been referred to. Perfect game in baseball. Speaking of perfect games, I've been playing a lot of chess.com with my friend Andy. And we play this game live from the I'll talk about it after the video.
And we knew that much. And one thing I said about Armando just a few seconds ago is the fact that he has got a tremendous glow on his face.
Are you looking it up? You're still trying to find it.
His teammates, they realize what he did.
No, it's on.
It's on. Manager, and the organization is classy as well.
Now, how about this? Armando Galarraga today is being presented with this, a Chevy Corvette.
Hello now.
Now, you and I, Rod, we need to try and throw some perfect games to get us one of these, but Armando Galarraga can't believe what's going on right now. Chevy so graciously has decided to give him a Corvette today.
You know, even in last night's game, when he got back into the clubhouse, his team treated him like he threw the perfect game with a nice little shower to help him remember it.
And all of the Tiger teammates, Mick, looking on here. This is really a special moment. It's amazing how the Tigers have really kind of taken what potentially could be a huge negative, and they've turned this into a huge positive. And again, none of this, Rod, I think, is possible without the class and the grace of this man right here, Armando Galarraga.
Even after he saw the replay last night and he visibly saw that Donald was out, he still had the same mentality, and he is special. There's no debate about that. When I first laid eyes on Armando, when he came up in 2008, there was something about him that said that this is a special human being, and he displayed that last night. As a matter of fact, he went
trying
beyond
to see if the ump is going to be
that
crying
last night.
And this is what being a teammate is all about. His teammates are on the field right now.
I remembered it wrong.
His car, and he still can't believe it. You know, the one thing he said
Everybody got
he was asked, who did you call?
a
after the game? And he said, I
GMC.
called my dad.
Yeah, like what year is this? It's not even like a nice car for a
He
millionaire.
said,
They gave him a Corvette. Now, see, I think they gave the ump an SUV.
know this, I am really, really proud of you. And when he said those words, it's almost as if most people started to choke up in that media gathering today.
You know, as I said, I dropped some tears last night for Galarraga as I continued to watch replay after replay.
These guys are all talking about crying over it.
Everybody cried.
For Jim Joyce. So it's just a very,
Not there's anything wrong with crying, just like, holy shit.
No, it's just funny. It's like game brings out a lot of emotion.
Move on from, and I just hope that all that went on.
It was such a bad call. I
Right
mean, we
now
could show the
just kinda
call
helps
too.
jumpstart.
It was mind-boggling. Joe West.
Was it Joe West? He's the only ump I really know.
Jim Joyce.
Jim Joyce. All right, Galarraga is almost perfect. Umpire ruins Galarraga's perfect game. It was close. Oh yeah, Jim Joyce's apology might be the one. It doesn't matter. Baseball is it's an emotional thing, man. I get emotional in our podcast all the time, man.
Here we go.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. That's him the next game, guys. All right, we don't have to show this. Oh, is he gonna say hey? Oh man, I'm gonna cry. This is heartbreaking.
Yeah, this is tough to watch.
We are not making fun of this man. I just want to. He has a smirk on his face though. He's like, yeah, that's what you get. Brown Bragg.
Dude, this is fucked up. MLB should go back and give this kid a fucking perfect game. This is so fucked up. Like, what year was this? What year did this happen?
Man, that's generational.
What year did this happen?
2009.
Dude, what year did they institute?
2010.
What year did they institute replay?
Ah, man. 2012, maybe. You're right.
Dude, they need to go.
God, that was hard to watch. That was really tough to watch, my man. Well, you're gonna have an umpire question on your step into the batter's box interview series.
2014. 2014.
Okay, so 4 years later. A robot wouldn't have done that. That's for sure.
I mean, I don't know.
When the self-driving cars get popular, they're going to robocalls. People aren't going to mind, man. When your car can just drive you wherever you want, or you have a car service that comes to your door, you don't care if your umpire is a robot. I don't know. I haven't really fully developed how I feel about all that, but man, I like how we go from robot strike zones over to this kind of like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing more human than what we watch. They had cameras in this man's face as he just sobbed his eyes out because he knew what he had done was a mistake and he had to live up to it. But there's worse things, man. It's just sad that they can't just give him his perfect game. But you know how that goes, Brownberry. You'd have to give him the out. That would change things. 'Cause then you wouldn't have a runner on first. That would change the box score.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man.
You really don't like it. He's about to hit.
Do not like it. I think they need to give this kid a perfect game.
Yeah.
Because it's clear. We have video documentation that he actually did throw a perfect game. Like, he got that dude out.
Brown Bear, the engineer, my friend. Well, some things come from right here, Brown Bear. They come from right here. No amount of facts and numbers and digits that you can put I'm with you. We should do a writing campaign. We should. He got a Corvette, man.
What would you rather have? A perfect game or a Corvette? That's not part of your.
That's a bonus question.
Game. A perfect game. Homeboy can probably buy like 5 Corvettes with his rookie contract.
True.
And he's like kind of not even like
he's
like a no-name pitcher.
Yeah. You could sell 5 autograph balls from the day of your perfect game and probably buy a Corvette with that money.
Dude, a Corvette, like that's a silly card to give to a millionaire, I feel like.
You're
Isn't
not
it?
about American-made muscle? What do you get him, a
Dude,
Lamborghini?
I mean,
What do you
I don't know, man.
Is it weird
just
that one of my-
a
that's
boring
one of my-
convertible Corvette doesn't seem like the thing to get?
It's
I
one
don't
of my
know.
guilty pleasures.
Luxury automobiles. A baseball hippie into luxury automobiles.
Yeah, like buy me something like luxurious. I don't want this tiny.
Hey, I
But the
don't
dude
think
was
you're
like
wrong,
big.
man.
He's like twice the size of that Corvette. He's not
The
even
resale
driving it.
value, he was nervous. He was like, really? The resale value on that, I mean, a 2010 Corvette's probably not
Anywhere near $1 million. The blue book on that.
Wonder if that car still runs. I wonder if he just donated the car.
A lot of times they give them to like their family members. I feel like I read about like
Yeah. What is a good story of a car, though? You're just driving around and it's like, man, I got this car because it's just perfect game, but, the ump ruined it. So they gave me a car. All right, I got the building price here. It's 50,000.
I was just gonna say like the top like high end
55
like
to 60. I'm
$60,000 car like.
Not a bad car, man.
It's
Anyways,
fine, but like
inside
really
check.
like that dude.
Corvette's not the issue.
I guess it's cool.
I like your take, man. You're very.
Ever since I known you, your logic is a driving force in your soundness.
Thank you.
That makes any sense.
I like it.
But I'm with you. It's like, why not? Just give him it's give him the perfect game. He deserves it, and everyone, including the ump, agrees. But he's on the list. I mean, anyone in our generation, he's kind of on the list. He's like an outlier.
But
the
it
great.
sucks because he's not gonna be like I don't know.
He won't be in the scripts.
It's just
So long
like
as
you
you
can clearly
remember
like there's
the
no
podcast.
question about it. They got that guy out. He should have never been on base.
All right, we're going down this rabbit hole. Show the clip.
I'm sorry.
He got him out though. He's not wrong. And this goes back to our balls and strikes discussion. And then we'll bring it up to speed. We'll play a little bit about this week in baseball. Talk some Mariners. Talk about my email to the Mariners. Mariners. And then I'm gonna put you through the batter's box. We'll call it. This is the call that we're talking about. What's right is right. That's what they say. Isn't that from Goodfellas? What's right is right.
It's right.
I like that. I like that phrase because I think it really describes the most basic principle of logic. Whoa, that's hardcore. Oh, he put his hands on his heads. A lot of hands on heads. See, that's a situational play where you call out because there's a perfect game going. Oh, the guy on the left, Jim Leland, legend. Are you kidding me? He said, "Are you kidding?" He's like, "I'm gonna slap this dude in the." What's his name? Joyce?
Jim Joyce.
Well, no, that's what Leyland's asking him. What's his name? Joyce? I'll be called. Oh, man, I do not know what he saw there. Look at it. He's looking right. Okay. Can you pause it? And oh, oh man.
Oh my god, just like the worst.
Screamed and grabbed
Said-
his
I would have cried
crotch
too. Just
at the
like what a
same
terrible
time.
call.
He screamed and grabbed.
What
All
a
right.
terrible call.
Well, the segue is fine in the Loriano.
Okay, we can
Went
talk
down
about
that rat.
Loriano.
Okay, we'll talk about him in a sec. But man, that ends our discussion, our pre-discussion about umpires. Like I said, I've got an umpire question on our batter's box. But man, man, what's right is right. That's all I gotta say. Brown Bear he's probably got more to say. How do you want to end that segment?
Oh, about the no, I feel like I said what I said. He needs to get. They need to call that a perfect game. That's the only base runner that he had. That's a
Okay,
perfect
so
game.
if we ever get a lot of money, we build a LEED certified building, and then we start a writing campaign about how this man deserves the perfect game. That picture is telling. He is nowhere near the base. You can put that picture next to his perfect game and be like, he could have had a perfect game.
The
Put
Armando
this- and then he ends
Galar,
up. Did he end up finishing the game though? That's important to me.
the Armando Galarraga Center for Justice.
Baseball deals with these issues. Science, there's calculus in the strike zone. We've had cousin Dan come on and talk about theory of relativity.
Yeah,
And then we've got justice. We've got morality.
he pitched the whole
Last
game.
week we talked about the animal kingdom, and he finished it with one hitter.
Yeah, one hit, only 3 strikeouts.
Can you, man, how many perfect games? 28 perfect games and a whole bunch of one-hitter complete games. Does this show just become a bummer? Is this the bummer? Is this when we go to the dark
The
place?
baseball bummer show.
Is this when we go to the dark place?
All right, what's next? We're gonna talk about.
Let's talk about baseball now. Let's talk about, that was a great deep dive. But Brown Bear, man, last week we kicked off the season. First week we had our predictions with Josh Jingleheimer Schmidt. Last week we kicked off the season. Cespedes left, and people were going to casinos and getting sick, testing positive. And now here we are. And it looks like the Rockies might be for real, although you prophesized, you took a hot take at the end of last week's show. But Rockies are still Marlins. Whoa. All that gambling is paying off. And I still hold strong for Detroit. I don't know why I like the Tigers. I'm glad we flashed a lot of Tigers tonight. But they're still doing well. Any surprises this week in baseball besides what we're about to show, which has definitely been the talk of baseball? We talked about it a lot pre-season. When was the first brawl? This was definitely the official first brawl. The Joe Kelly gets a lot of play. We talked about that, but this is now, and it does involve the Astros.
I got a couple things after this, but yeah, let's start with this one, the
Yeah.
Loriano one. Yeah, so
Okay. So this happened over the weekend. Loriano, I'm big on. I always have been. This is the second time he got hit this game. Okay, this one right here. That's not how you throw a slider. And then he tries to run at a coach, but what they don't show is there it is. There it is. Oh, man. There's so much testosterone. This is what happens every season in the middle of the season. So why would they think it would happen on a hot August day when there's pandemic? Oh, don't do it. Well, the coach got 20-day suspension. Loriano got 6. What do you think about that, Brember? What kind of justice was served on that? What do you see in that all? I just love how he shows the fingers, man. He's like,
yeah,
that's
my
not
favorite.
how.
That's my favorite.
That's not how you throw a slider. Like, well, if you were trying to throw the slider, why were your fingers like that? I love Laureano
And
because
he's also like in another clip. He's like you're pushing it. He's like
he's
you're
giving
sliding.
him
He's like you're
lessons.
shooting like this. He's like you're pushing. He's
Yeah,
like you're trying to hit me, bro. I can see it.
yeah.
I can see it.
Conspiracy.
Talking about like is the release point. And he's like you're out here with this. He's like you should be up here with a slider. He's like you're trying to hit me, dog.
That was a classic one, man.
Yeah,
That was a more fun exchange,
loved
than
that.
Joe
Loved that.
Kelly.
This one was another interesting one with one of our favorite pitchers to watch. Let's take a look. Oops. Hold on. All right, here we go.
This happened on Friday.
I think so.
Yeah.
Love the shimmy. Love the shimmy. It's up.
Or-
It's easy.
Oh, no
Wait
hitter
a
through
minute.
5.
Uh-oh.
6.
Uh-oh.
What's Pence doing in left field? Whoa. That wasn't even near him.
Just like so bad.
Oh, and then the cracks in the wall. Doesn't mean as much unless, wow, he pointed up.
It's a triple. That should be an error, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, they gave him a triple?
Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
he got
that's
to
an
third on that. That should be an error. Like, dude, you just like missed a fly ball completely. I'm harsh.
He's not a natural left fielder.
Cueto says he's like, who knows what would have happened if he would have caught that ball, which he has a good point. But I think Cueto's also one of the most shook pitchers ever.
We have some other clip of Cueto we're going to show.
Yeah, I gotta get that here.
And we were talking pre-show. Cueto, in my eyes, is the original shimmy. He invented the shimmy. And actually, we have that Mariners pitcher who tried to shimmy and then Pujols hit a homer off him this year. But here, the fans are chanting Cueto, Cueto. This is also the first one-game playoff game in the history of the modern game. Not the first ever, but this is when they did the rule. He drops the ball to a screaming fan of Cueto's. Yeah, they're raging now. The Buccos. He's like, all right, got it. Oh. Well, on the next pitch, he gives up a homer. Seriously, what happens?
So I have one more clip to show that I loved from this week.
Okay.
And I'm
This
gonna
is surprising me.
I'm gonna pull this up.
We
Real
didn't.
quick.
This is not discussed pregame. I love this. This is a surprise clip. All right. Solak hits the ball well. He's that Texas kid. Oh,
Joe Adele,
oh,
your big moment.
the new guy. What do we call? Both those are new prospects. They're both young gunners. Yo, shout out to Solak. Shout out to Adele. They're both probably going to be good in the MLB. That is what they used to call Bush League. Wow, that's a blooper reel right there. I didn't see that, Brown Bear. Rook.
That's a
Farva.
rook move. That's a rook move,
Farva.
dude.
You
For
don't
real.
even have your mustache. Wow.
But yeah,
Man, they used to have this thing before the internet in the 90s called bloopers. You'd like buy them, right? Get like videos of bloopers.
VHS of bloopers. Yeah,
Yeah.
you hadn't seen the Joe Adele.
They still play bloopers at games, but they
You hadn't
don't
seen
play
the
them as
Joe-
much as they used to.
You hadn't seen
Hadn't
that?
seen the Joe Adele.
Yeah.
I went out into the woods this weekend. I went on some backpacking adventure.
There's a lot of
And,
comparisons to that famous Jose Canseco clip where it hits him on the head and bounces over.
Man, we should do a blooper show. Gotta love a good old baseball blooper. That's a classic, man. That really is a good one. And there's nothing but bright futures for both those guys, but that is really funny. Thank you for showing me that. So, yeah, that's the weekly roundup where we go over what happened this week in baseball. We are so lucky and blessed to have another season of baseball pushing through, muddling through. We're still, hoping for a change. And we'll talk a little bit of Mariners, man. Did you get it? You want to show the people our cutouts? I got some updates on that. I emailed the Mariners general inquiry, and I saw FAQ on their page. I want to locate my cutout. Who do I talk to? And they say, we're working on that. And then there was another FAQ that said, can you get a picture of my cutout in the stands? And they said, we're working on that. Ooh. So I sent an email saying, okay, well, I know you're working on this, but when you figure your answer, will you please be in touch with me?
That's sick. Put him on the spot, Jess.
Yeah, so here, I'll pop in. Yep. So there's Josh Jingle with a beard, if fans can't recognize. This is so classic. This is so us. So these are our cutouts. If any of our fans are watching games out there and you see any of these, please, the Baseball Hippie Show at gmail.com, or just comment on one of our YouTube shows. There's someone screaming outside of my apartment right now.
Yeah, you always get people are going crazy over there always.
It's been active tonight. A lot of sirens, a lot of stuff.
I heard them sirens going off.
I just can't close the window in August, man. It's just too stuffy.
Yeah, I had the AC on here a minute ago, but
yeah. Well, here, bring yourself in. Nice. We got our cut. Can you just put them down at the bottom maybe for a little bit?
Yeah, dude.
Maybe. We'll just have them popping out of a bush right there or something. I like the background today, man. Good color scheme. I like that weird green, like that, alpine green. Yeah, man, I've been taking a lot of photos out in the woods. It's been great. Realized I'm really into nature photography, and my mom gifted me her old 80s photography camera.
You gotta put that shit on the show.
Yeah, man.
Get us some backgrounds going.
Well, I could send you one right now if you want to show the list, show the viewers.
I mean, if you got one you want to share.
Yeah, I could share, man. I could totally share. I did some double exposures the other day, so stoked on those. But yeah, man, I just want to show everybody this. This is actually not maybe a. We'll show a couple. Anyways, Baseball Hippie show about baseball, psychedelia. We're talking Mariners baseball. We're talking cutouts. Mariners, we had a lot of high hopes in the last show, and I'd say all those hopes are pretty much slashed by now. I'm throwing these on the Discord if you want to post any of these. Be my guest. All but slashed, and I'd say, man, we still have hope for the future. I think this season's done, though. I don't see their I don't see them digging themselves out of this. Our bullpen is just that bad, and it's just the type of season where you don't want to have a bad bullpen.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think we're just in a tough spot where we want the team to be a lot better than they actually are, and there we see the promise that is coming, but at the same time, they're not going to go out and invest in like a long-term bullpen fix right now. They're just kind of let it figure itself out.
No, it's true. And you know, it's okay to be bad, man. We've been bad last year, and we were bad before that. We've
been bad a long time.
We've been bad, man. And in the end, we're gonna there's some nature photogs, man. They're chill. They just put me at ease. In the end, if it's not our year, we have hope for the future, and that's all you can ask for the Mariners. But real quick, because we're on the topic. Okay, there we go. That's a picture of a Stellar J. It's me at the park. They don't translate as well. This is photography, man. Photography is cool because it's chemical elements on film, So even though it's a digital transfer, it's light on film.
What park you at?
This was at Discovery Park in Seattle.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
I'm getting the other ones right now.
Man, I got this one of this hummingbird in Carkeek. I'll show that next show. This is a Baseball Hippie show about baseball and other stuff. We're looking at nature photography. Really, really wanted to get a camera. The universe gifted me one through my mom, through my mother, my loving mother. And yeah, man, I've been having a kick with it. I just love taking pictures of nature, but I realize the camera I have, the lens I have, it's pretty good nature. You can get some good nature ones. It's really good people. So I've gotten some incredible, because if a person's standing at the right spot, it just has the most incredible focus with the right light. I got a picture of my friend's dog that I just think is the most. So people, humans or animals, just like living creatures, but yeah, people come through really well. So maybe next time I see you, we'll take some pics. Oh. So yeah, Baseball Hippie show. All great things. Kind of, the nature photogs also give me some kind of cycle of life. There's always nature's colors. It gives you the colors that are the colors of the now, which are everything changes, from rivers to flowers, to trees, to birds. But Brown Bear, we have to mention here that the two brightest spots of the Mariners this year are Kyle Lewis and Kyle Seager coming back into his own, batting .300. But as we talked about pre-show, we could be looking at Kyle Seager's last couple weeks as a Mariner. And so we just want to give a special shout out to Kyle Seager here on the Baseball Hippie show. You're one of the greats. And you're up there with Dan Wilson and Jay Buhner in my eyes.
Okay,
you
I like that.
Are known through the Seattle community as, you might not go down in history as the most famous Seager in baseball even. But in this region of the world, and I know he's from North Carolina, but here in the Northwest, you're a goat. You're a young goat, as the kids say. Kyle Seager's a young goat. Because you really played for the worst franchise for like some of the darkest years and saw some of the most crazy stuff happen.
For real.
And you played hard. You were the best prospect we had through those dark years. And any team
he got paid for it.
Good to have you. You have championship caliber. He did get paid. He got paid a lot. But remember, you love Kyle Seager, I know that.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite Mariners, for real.
He's in your top 5 easily, but don't you feel like he could contribute to like a very good playoff to a World Series team?
He could, and I think you make a good point, but at the same time, do you think Jerry's going to let him go for like a small package for like this tiny little 60-game season? And do you think, like, I don't see a team
Defensively, he still has the step at third
He's
base.
good. He's a good player. He's a good player. And I
good.
think in a regular season for a
Yeah.
regular championship title, he is definitely gone. I think there is a chance that he sticks around because there's not a good enough offer for him for this partial season trophy. I don't think, as much as we want to say or anyone wants to say that this is like meaningful and like championship is meaningful, like it's not the same as winning the regular World Series. It's not. After playing 162 games, it's not the same. So my point is, I don't think teams are going to invest in the same way that they would if they were pursuing a regular championship. And I don't think Jerry's going to let Kyle go unless he gets like a real good package. Because I think it's a better gamble that we just hang on to him and he bats 300 again next year.
You have very enticing points, but I'm just pointing out that if it is his last 2 weeks, I just want to notice it.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be contrary.
No. I like to disagree with you, and my only disagreement isn't that your logic isn't sound on that. The asking value is lower in this environment, and B, there's not a lot of teams willing to go all out for a guy like Kyle Seager. I agree with that kind of, and that's kind of what you're saying, right? It's just like he's not going to get enough back return for him.
I mean, it's not even like not for a guy like Kyle Seager. I think a lot of teams would go for if he was hitting. If this was August in a regular season that had been going on since like late March, and Kyle's hitting 300 with 20 home runs, I think teams are going to go for him.
More at bats, yeah,
exactly. I think teams are going to go for him. But my point is,
he could fizzle. Or a team looking at him could say he could fizzle.
Yeah, or that I don't think the championship this year is as meaningful to teams. Like I don't think teams are willing to give up prospects that they have to win this 60-game championship as opposed to they would for a regular season. So I don't think it means as much to them.
That's the part I disagree on, where yes, not all teams, but I do believe teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Athletics, I feel like there are teams that are gonna make moves.
This is worth like altering the future of your franchise to win this championship. I don't think it is.
It's a gimme, dude.
I don't know.
You're right. I don't know. I just said it today, man. I want to throw Athletics in the ring for championship contenders this year. Yeah. I just think they have this, like, they're the only ones approaching this season, like, with this idea of, like, I don't know. I think they just have this idea of, like, we can play this like a baseball tournament. Like, we can just be the bully, and then when it comes to playoffs, we're just going to sweep them. They play pretty mean baseball, man. Remember, I don't know the answers. We'll see, though, that when is the trade deadline? It's on August 30th, right?
August 30th or 31st. Yeah, 31st, I think.
Okay. So we have 3 weeks. Sorry. So we have 21 days. We will know if there's rumors in the wind about Kyle Seager. And we'll talk about this again. But I like your takes, man. I do. Always like your take. You can always have a hot take on this show, man. It's not about, just because I'm a hippie doesn't mean we have to agree on anything, really. You know? All right, Brown Bear, you ready to go into the batter's box?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, y'all. This is our segment called Into the Batter's Box, where we get a guest on. Sometimes we put Brown Bear in it. It hasn't been a minute since we put Brown Bear in it. Put him in the batter's box. We ask him a softball question, a hardball question, and a curveball. Kind of get him warmed up with a little changeup. Then we give him the heat. Then we give him a twister. So I actually haven't thought of the twister yet, so I hope I think of it while we're talking. Sometimes I do that. That's where the best twisters come from. Remember, are you ready, man?
I'm ready, dude. Hit me.
All right. I want to point out something as we start this interview that I thought of the other day, which is with all this madness going on, life has gotten to a point where there's a new normal for people as we get through this. And one of the things I think that we never really point out on the show that's got to be noticed is I kind of like I lost my job during this thing. It's not like a corporate. It wasn't like a job, but I still like don't do it anymore. And I'm probably going to go back to school for some other thing, which is a great thing for me. But we don't know that yet. But Brown Bears kept his job through the whole thing, and I think, I mean, and your job is related to services that people use during stuff like this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a different reality for people, because my reality is like weird. It's like I've been really doing stuff, but I want to fill my days up and I'm ready to get back to work. I simply am. But Brown Bear, I just imagine people like you where it's like nothing. It's like you still go to work because it's like what we would all be doing in some extent if the world was just like back to normal, I guess, but it's not. So like, there's probably little things up. And again, you were working from home for a while, but like now that you're back in the office, my softball question is, what has the traffic been like? What is the most weirdest part? First off, is the track, because that's what got me thinking about this. I was driving home at like 4:30 and I was like, yeah, it's like kind of bad traffic, but it's like not the same. And so if you just one day you just go to work and you're just driving and you're like, wow, there's a lot of traffic. Then this pandemic hits, and by the next week you're just like, whoa, all the traffic's gone. My question is, what's up with the traffic on the way to work, and what is the weirdest part of your day with all this stuff? That kind of makes you be like, you know what, this is weird. This is not normal time. Like there's like I'm on weird time. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a softball.
Yeah, so when I'm leaving work, like the most noticeable thing for traffic with me, I used to like kick it for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the parking lot, just like talking to homies after work.
Yeah.
And part of that's because it's like a pain in the ass to get out of the parking lot. It could take like 15 minutes just to pull out of the parking lot onto like Gleason and and on the
because everybody's
street.
Getting off at the same time.
Because everyone's leaving, everyone's getting off, the street's busy, and to where I go, you got to go across traffic to pull onto the far side of the street to go west. And excuse me. So yeah, now I can leave right at 5 and no traffic at all, no issue pulling out onto the street, and I'm home within like 5 minutes. So that's one like noticeable thing. In terms of like weird parts of my day, I mean, work's pretty chill. I have one manager who's got like asthma, can't wear a mask. That really bothers me, but I'm kind of like not fighting. I'm choosing my battles on that one. I keep my mask on at all times, so it's all good. But yeah, I don't know. When I was at Plaid Pantry.
True hero, man.
I was at Plaid Pantry earlier, and this dude walks in and he doesn't have a mask on, and the clerk just like points at him. He's like, mask, and the guy is like, huh? And he's like, oh, sorry. And this dude is a fucking G. He's like, I don't want your apology. I just want you to put on a fucking mask. It's the Plaid Pantry guy says this to him. And the guy's like, damn, bro, it's not that big a deal. He's like, it's actually a pretty big fucking deal. He's like, get out of here or put a mask on. And the guy's like walking out. He's like, fuck your store, bro. It's like, wow. That was the wildest thing from today. That was the wildest thing from today.
That's today.
That's just
a today moment.
But yeah, in terms of like day to day,
the asthma.
It's just, I work in an office of like, it's meant to be. There's usually between us and the other department that works there, like 300 people in that office, and now there's like 20. And so it's like it feels like the apocalypse straight up. Like
You're in a big empty office. Like,
yeah, well, and
one
just like
corner.
empty cubicle after empty cubicle after empty cubicle. There's shit hung up from like St. Patrick's Day still in some parts of the office.
Wow.
It's a trip, dude. It's wild.
Wow.
It's like time is just like frozen in March 2020.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. It's chill.
Well, I think that you answered that question pretty well, man. I gotta say, yeah, you're the real hero because I'm just like all about, do what they say, CDC recommendations, wear a mask. We're all about it here on the Baseball Hippy Show. Anything that can help people save lives, make people feel comfortable. Man, you're working 8 hours a day and you're just like, I'm down to wear a mask. This is my job, and this is what
Dude,
I'm
I
gonna
forget.
do.
Honestly, like people
I
who
go
can't wear a
through
mask,
Black
I can't.
Pantry and can't wear a mask for 2 minutes.
I
It's
can't
like,
handle
come
it.
on.
I feel like dude was gonna wear a mask too. I think like it was really funny, but the plaid pantry dude went a little too hard on him because homie was gonna go grab his mask from the car, but
He had one.
he like embarrassed him so much that the dude just went into like flight mode and started like fuck your store, bro, and he just like peeled out of the parking lot and left. So like I feel like if he would have just left it initially, like put a mask on, like the dude would have went and got his mask. Cause he's like, I forgot, and then the guy's like, "Fuck you, forgot." He's like, "Cause there's like 15 people in the fucking plaid pantry." He's like, you walked past all these people with masks on, and you forgot you didn't have one on. He's like, "Please, dude, come on." I mean, I forget mine, but I haven't walked into a store forgetting it. I'll get to the like, 10 feet away from my car, start walking into like the main part of the parking lot, or the main part of the store. I'm like, oh fuck, and I gotta turn around and get my mask. But
Yep. We talked about it. Me too, man. It's 2020. I just made a move in my chess game. Live 360. You switch up all the back, the rooks and everything. You switch them up. So they're different and they just randomize them. And then the pawns are the same. It's Bobby Fischer invented it because no two games are ever the same. So you never get the same board when you play it.
trippy.
Chess.com. It's another part of pandemic, man.
Searching
Just
for Bobby
weird.
Fischer. I remember that movie.
Man, there's a better movie about Bobby Fischer, a documentary that came out recently. Because Bobby Fischer Against the World 2011. Check
Cool.
it out. It's great. His actual story is just so incredible.
Yeah,
But
I gotta learn more about
the
it.
dramatization of his life was pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie.
I just remember watching it as a kid with my dad.
It was a blockbuster.
Yeah,
It was a blockbuster. Thanks for telling that story about something that happened in your life today.
I just reminded myself of that. I was just trying to get some fucking yerba and some sparkling water, and
Getting your daily yerbas.
dude was pissed, dude.
What kind of do you drink? The mint yerba?
I prefer the raspberry.
Raspberry's the good one. Yeah, the mint can get kind of weird. Okay, you ready for your hardball, man?
Yeah, and then, hit me with the hardball.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. Hey,
I got a picture I'm gonna drop in here. This is for your curveball, so you might want to get that queued up. You show the video if we want to, if you don't recognize that. But here's your hardball. I'm even messing with you right now. You ready?
yeah.
Are umpires cops? I thought about this the other day.
Man, I don't know.
I'm not going to go any further. I got more on that too, but I thought that's as hardball as it gets. Are umpires cops, Brown Bear?
That's pretty hardball. I'd say, man, like baseball cops. They're like, Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is tough, man. We, we need to defund the umpires. Invest in robot umps.
Well, I'm just okay. I'm just saying here. Cops. Okay. I want to hear your answer. Because I know I thought about it. I questioned myself. I got to hear an answer. Yes or no. Are umpires cops?
I'm gonna say no. I don't
yes
think.
Or no.
I say no. I say no.
No. Thank you. Because I was saying yes, they're cops because they uphold the laws of baseball. But for some reason, there isn't this thing. They're not the police of baseball like you saw with that video. They're kind of like part of it, you know? Like, I think they consider themselves part of the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that's unlike policing to me for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, I like that answer. Sorry, I kind of had a non-answer, but I don't think they're cops.
Answer. You said no, and I agree. I think yes, in that their function is similar to what a cop is. Maybe it's some kind of metaphor, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely lighter territory. But it's definitely interesting because as much as I boo an umpire for making what I call a questionable call, maybe they are. No, here's why too. Because if you took the umps out and you took the robots out, someone would have to call balls and strikes. So in a lot of ways, like soccer too, is like the players are kind of the ones that call balls and strikes. Because even like if like that game, if the ump wasn't there to say that guy was out, the runner would have just been like, I was out. Okay, I'll just say that and just walk back to the dugout.
Yeah.
But Bremer, I need you to finish this, man, because actually I don't have an answer anymore. Why aren't umpires cops?
Man, I agree, like your answer that they are part of the game. They're a necessary part of the game. They're more like guardians of the game.
Like if an umpire got out of hand, there is a system in place that could take him out.
Yeah.
I guess that's the same with the cop though. Man, he can't even handle it. He can't even handle it.
Sorry.
You couldn't even that question was too hard. We'll come back to that, man.
Yeah. Nah.
I knew I had a good one.
Nah, my partner just got home.
You. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap the show up here after this curveball. But we had a lot of ump talk, and I'm wondering if we could just look this up real quick. What is an umpire? Every other sport has a referee. Why the name umpire? What is an ump for shorthand? We call them umps. I got just obsessed with all this a couple of days ago when I was watching baseball, guys. What's the deal with umps, man? There's really nothing like an ump. It's given mass amounts of power in the game of baseball to call these things called balls and strikes and determine what is an out. Given the power of the strike zone, one of the most arbitrary measuring tools in professional sport. Yet, Statistically, baseball is one of the most even places on earth. There are stats from 1919 that look exactly like stats from 2019. It's the same game. Not a lot of games can say that. There wasn't a lot of 61-point games in the NBA back in the day. Lillard drops them consistently. Kobe. What is an umpire? Maybe that's the real question. That's the hard ball. What is an umpire, Brown Bear?
I'm gonna stick with my answer. Guardian of the game.
I love you, man. All right, we're moving on that curveball. You answered that. Wouldn't give you an A+, but I'd give you a solid B.
All right.
You passed that round. Going for the strikeout pitch. Curveball. So on this backpacking trip, we were talking about independent films. I got into movies a couple years ago thanks to John. He's been on this show. Shout out to tasteofcinema.org. It's a great movie blog that lists movies. So if you need inspiration to find a cool independent film, you can go there, and they have lists of greatest foreign sci-fi movie, greatest movie from Japanese film, greatest Korean film, greatest Korean horror sci-fi film. So you just learn a lot about movies, and they're always trying to give you independent. It was a little better back in the day, I will agree. So the new ones aren't as good, but they're lists. What me and John found, John especially is a big movie buff, he kind of got me into it, is when you watch too many independent films, too many older movies, they're at a different pace, and a lot of them do their own thing. And some of them are, you ask yourself, why did the director make that? The why is very hard to figure out. So you watch these movies called palate cleansers. Terminator 2 would be a good one. You know, just a blockbuster movie of searching for Bobby Fischer to just clear all the noise and just watch a movie with a narrative, because you've been watching too many experimental Eastern European films, and you need to just like watch what they call a movie, you know? And I say that, and my friend, first thing he says is Jurassic Park. He just says it like that. And I think, and we're not to mention, we're like basically in fucking Jurassic Park, because we're like 16, we're like 8-10 miles out in the woods in the Central Cascades.
Sick.
And I just say to myself, it's great. Jurassic Park might be one of the greatest movies ever made. He said, I watch it twice a year. He said, it's one of the only movies I can watch forever. And I thought of you, my friend. I don't know a bigger Jurassic Park fan, especially Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. I don't know of a bigger
that
fan.
Movie gets a lot of hate
than my friend Bramber. Have you seen the new Jurassic Park? He said it was good. I gotta see
the
it.
most recent one. Fallen
He said I even like those.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, not my favorite, but like it's dinosaur action. I don't really know what a lot of people expect from these movies. I don't go in expecting like the best movie I've ever seen, but if you like seeing some dino action, and I thought the most recent one did some like somewhat interesting stuff with the concepts, like it's all right. My real shit though is the original and the second one are really good.
Classics.
Yeah, classics. And I like the book. I like the audio book.
The book's supposed to be more violent than the movies.
Kind of, yeah. It's just like more in depth. I think some of the like action scenes from the second movie actually come from the first book.
All from a mosquito.
The book too goes a lot more into the like scientific part. I don't know if you've ever read a Michael Crichton book before, but he kind of tends to like add like a crazy amount of backstory to the concepts that he's using. So like in this, and then like Congo, and like
really makes you believe
Andromeda Strain and stuff. Yeah, it's like really the sciencey part of science fiction. So
I'm telling you, you can get dinosaur. You can make a dinosaur from
like
the
I would
blood
say
of
like
a
the
mosquito.
first like third, maybe like the first fifth of the book is about like just cloning and scientific stuff, but it's pretty interesting. It's like actually kind of interesting the way that it's done. But Anyway, that's my Jurassic Park feelings. Love that movie. It's my favorite movie, straight up.
Well, that's what the curveball question's about. I also saw this funny thing where they're like showed the scene in Jurassic Park and you can see a hand moving the dinosaur. And it's in the pivotal raptor scenes. I see that image.
You did.
I know you can throw that up. I thought that was funny. We could show the scene maybe, but it's like you just never notice it. It doesn't take anything away from the movie, but the hand is just there. It's just so in plain sight when you watch. It's when they're hiding in the cabinets, and it had just opened the door.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a pivotal scene in the movie when the raptors, the velociraptors, understand that they can open doors.
Yo.
Brown bear.
Yo, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
This is some unplanned serendipity right here. Give me just a second.
Perfect.
Get this
Perfect for the curveball.
bullshit out of here.
There's actually a whole YouTube list of Jurassic Park mistakes. But that doesn't matter.
I can probably quote that movie, dude. Like most of it, really, for real. But yo,
did you notice any of the mistakes, or is it just they're so slight of hand?
I never really.
Whoa,
have.
what is that?
This is the Lego set of
Nice.
of that scene, dog. So like,
Oh wow.
it's got like the little
them
computer. Oh shit! Can I? You see, like the didn't say the magic word.
Oh nice.
But yeah.
Oh
it's got
nice.
That.
That's a segment we got to bring back to, remember, the 7th stretch where we go through wild events.
Yeah, this is a new one. I didn't even know they made Jurassic Park Legos. This is like a newer thing, and it's got
that's amazing.
On the backside, it's got like the kitchen and like some Jello right there.
Yep. That's the one where they're in the kitchen.
I'm not actually done building this one. There's more pieces to it.
Nice. For everybody out there, Brember is a huge, he's got a huge memorabilia set.
Son of a bitch.
Ninjago.
I don't know if I actually have any Ninjago.
I'm just kidding. That's sorry.
I do like Legos though.
Fungo. I said Ninjago. Fungo.
I think Ninjago is just like a line of Lego toy.
Lego toys. Yeah. Well, anyways, he's got a bunch of memorabilia, toys, stuff. We walked down Edgar Martinez Drive with Brown Bear before on this show. We'll go down there again. Man, we got great segments. 7th stretch. We got to bring that one back. We stretch the realms of imagination. I love the serendipity of the Baseball Hippie Show. Pretty much every time we press play live, when we go live, something weird always happens. Curveball is, though, Brown Bear. How do you feel about Jurassic Park, man? Existentially. Let's go there. If the tech was around, should we be cloning dinosaurs? Would you go to a park where you could go see dinosaurs after seeing the movie Jurassic Park? It's like we already know what's going to happen. Would you ever want to see a T-Rex? Because I was out in the woods camping, and I thought to myself, what if a freaking, like, I'm afraid of a bear. What if a freaking T-Rex jumped through the woods? I didn't think I brought enough toilet paper for that situation.
I'm definitely dumb and American enough to do that, I feel like.
But knowing the repercussions and knowing everything, if tomorrow scientists announce that they had the technology to clone a full-grown dinosaur, you would. You'd pull the green light if you were the commander.
I think I would. I'd be all about that. I would be all about that. I love dinosaurs. Have loved dinosaurs my whole life. I want to see a dinosaur. I'm sorry if it results in everybody's death. As long as I get to see a dinosaur.
What's your favorite dinosaur, man?
Damn, I think a long neck, like Brachiosaurus, Brontosaurus, Diplodocus. Any one of those.
What's up with all this research about dinosaurs and feathers? that birds
think
are the
they-
same, but they're starting to
that's it,
think
like,
maybe they were a lot more feathered.
I think they are. So I'm not like the most scientific dinosaur fan. More
Yeah.
into like the sci-fi dino realm. I like Jurassic
yeah.
Park is like I don't think
Popularized
like the one's better.
dinosaurs in popular culture.
Yeah, totally. I mean, scientifically and like historically, it's still really cool. I think the dinosaurs that look like big lizards in Jurassic Park are way cooler than the, like feathery looking ones. But I guess I understand that like that's kind of evolutionary wise where they came from. So that's cool. Feathers are kind of corny though, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no. I'm on the Wikipedia site for the North American the supposed the dinosaurs they found in North America that they put the bones together, and none of the reanimations of them, the reproductions, show feathers. So it's still not popularized, but there was one where I saw what you would imagine a dinosaur with a bunch of feathers, and it looked funnier than what you think.
Not scary.
But it is amazing, man. They have found so many of these dinosaur bones. I feel bad for anybody who does not believe in dinosaurs. They are the most psychedelic of all things. And they find these bones all over the world. You know what I'm saying? They find them in Mexico. They find them in North Carolina.
Rad.
You know what I'm saying?
And
that's just on our hemisphere.
It's kind of like an offshoot of geology as well, like paleontology. I think I don't know if that's how they look at it, but in my mind, it is. Like geology is fucking sick, and then like rocks are cool, but the bones and shit you find in rocks are cool also.
Yeah, check this. I got some. I found some quartz, a big piece of quartz that looked like ice.
That's dope.
It's just right in the middle of the trail. So
you got it. Do you have a favorite dinosaur?
I like the Stegosaurus or the Triceratops now as an older person.
Yeah, those are both dope.
I like kind of like
Stegosaurus is up there for me too.
The tough like ram, the ones that like to ram each other.
Yeah, I like the ones with the weird I feel faces. Like I related to Spike in Land Before Time.
Land Before Time,
hella
me too.
Quiet and like chill.
Yeah, Spike was the chill.
I feel like he had hippie vibes, stoner hippie vibes for real.
Yeah, he did. He had total baseball hippie vibes, stoner vibes. But
weird, dude.
Man, we're a show about psychedelia, and we haven't delved deep into dinosaurs. We are tripping. Dinosaurs are
real dinosaur talk.
Psychedelia. All right, next show, we're gonna go through some dinosaurs
going deep on the dinos, dog.
Deep dive into the dinosphere. Also in our lifetime, a lot we've got. I'm gonna give you some special research on the things that have changed in our life about the knowledge of dinosaurs. Because thanks to people like you, enthusiasts and other paleontologists, we're learning more about dinosaurs than we ever knew. And when I was young, they didn't know how dinosaurs became extinct. And now they're almost 100% positive. It was a meteor that hit that's in Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico. You can see the outline of it. Am I correct on that? I'm pretty sure.
So. And it caused like a dust storm.
Yeah, and it caused a dust storm. And the dinosaurs took them a long time to die off. Like it wasn't just an overnight deal. It took hundreds of years, of thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't die. Birds, alligators.
Evolved.
Us.
Baseball hippie.
Yeah, man. That was the batter's box.
Word.
Thank you, man. Thanks for your love of Jurassic Park. You inspired us.
I feel like that was like a like an infield single. It wasn't that good.
Are umps cops is the most loaded question in this climate, in this baseball hippie show, man. And we could literally make a show about, we're like the Seinfeld of baseball, man. The last two shows, the last show was about like just the brutality of the animal kingdom. And now this show is totally about umpires, man. Like just this whole idea of umping and law and order, you know, it's like baseball is a reflection. It's a pond. It's a mirror. It's a cruel mirror sometimes, but it's a mirror, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I don't know if you can pull this song, Some Raw, off the Discord. That'd be rad if we could go out with a little music. We'll bring Vinyl Cam back next week. We'll try and get John on the show because we told him we'd do a part 2. Maybe Nice Nate wants to come back. Maybe we'll get a new guest. Shout out to all the Baltimore Orioles fans, all the Colorado Rockies fans. We'll talk about awards too. Blackman definitely up there for Baseball Hippie. Levenger, you're moving down the list. All right. Baseball Hippie Show. Love you, Brown Bear. Thanks for the batter's box tonight, man. Thanks for everything. Cutouts are looking great. We talked about this. Actually out there, that it also has one of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time.
Pretty
Look at
sad.
us, lower decks, breaching protocol together.
Gosh.
P.
Fucking ass.
Straight P. So shout out to all the fans that still have hope up there. We're throwing the towel in the Mariners season, but we're not throwing the towel in the podcast.
Nah, we'll be back. All right, peace, everybody.
Thanks, bro.
Nuclear war. Nuclear war. Talking about nuclear war. Nuclear war. The nuclear war. You're talking about nuclear war. It's a motherfucker. Don't you know? You're talking about